everyone, it's Tammy, and today I'm going to show you how to use the envelope punch board from Stampin' Up. I know that some of you have a question about it, and I know that the A2 size, which is 4 by 5.5 or 4 1/4 by 5.5, isn't exactly written on here. They have an A2 size, and they use 8 1/4 by 8 1/4, and that would work, but I cheated and figured out that an A2, if you use an 8 by 8 piece of cardstock and the first score line is at 3 5/8, it fits perfectly. So I have here an 8 by 8 piece of cardstock, and I literally keep this on here so that I can reference it whenever I need it. And I put it on the back because I have it on a piece of cardstock and I didn't want it to raise up on my board. So you might consider doing the same thing. I just taped it down there. So 3 5/8 is where we're going to do the first score line. Now this, if you've never used one of these boards before, they look a little bit complicated, but once you understand how to use it, it's so easy and it's so nice. And it has the directions right on it. But for the first line, I need to line this up to 3 5/8 inch because that's what the scorecard tells me. 8 by 8, 3 5/8 inch. So I'll go 3 5/8 inch, and then you'll see that there's a score. Let me take this off for a second. This is the score line. This is a score guide, and this is the punch. So I line it up to 3 5/8. I take the score line with the, if you guys didn't see this, this score bone folder thing is right in here. Very handy. You score this on that score line and you punch. And you do that every time. A score line and a punch. So then I line, now I don't worry about what inches it is. I just worry about lining up this arrow with my score line. And as long as that's lined up, then I score this side, and you score and you punch. And then I turn it, and I do the same thing over here, line up the score line, and I score and a punch. And then I line it up to this last line, and I score and a punch. Now, as you can see, these are still squared. If you take your punch and turn it this way, this is now a reverse punch. So I can stick my envelope in there and it will give me a rounded corner. Isn't that handy? So everything is in one little handy punch board and it makes the envelope for you. You would really never have to buy another envelope for a card if you didn't want to. So I'll take that out of the way. It gives you just these little 8 little pieces of crumb. Throw that away. I need to take out my trash can. It's getting too full. And then I can use my score bone folder-y thing to fold these in. And I'm just going to fold every one of them in. And you can make your envelope match your card. It's so nice. This is just, it just adds a special customized touch. And to make it look like a regular envelope, you put both of those in and then this one. And what I like to do is glue both sides of this, but I don't glue the middle because the middle will be up here and then you'd stick it to the inside of the card. So I would recommend, this ATG tape is very tacky, so it's okay to use. If you don't have an ATG gun, I really wouldn't use snail on it, but I would recommend the Terran tape, which is this. This would be great to use on it. Or Fast Fuse. And I'm just putting it here on each side. That's the American Crafts version of the Terran tape. I'd had that prior to becoming a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And since I have the Stampin' Up! Stuff, and it's easier because this is kind of difficult to get the top off once I've stuck it down. that's actually my last choice. I don't know why it was first on my desk or in my tape drawer, but it was, so that's what I grabbed first. But I don't like it when I grab this because I do not like it as much. It's very difficult to try to get the first layer off. I got this at, I want to say Hobby Lobby. It's just the American Crafts version. I think that that's available at Michael's and Hobby Lobby and Joann's. Okay, got those off. So then I can fold this up. And now it is ready for an A2 card, and I have one here, of course, because I make cards all the time. And I will show you how it fits. This has a little bit of embellishment on it, so I'm just being careful to make sure that I stick my embellishment in there carefully. But voila, isn't that adorable? And then you can decorate it however you want. I've kind of been into decorating envelopes a little bit more than usual, but it's kind of fun to draw on them or whatever. So there we go. And then when the recipient gets it, they have a personalized card from you. If you use double-sided envelope paper or paper, it will show both sides. That's kind of fun. Yeah, so this is just a really nice little thing to use. I'm going to do one more. This one is going to be for a 4x4 card. So I'm showing you how to use the actual scoring board. The only one that I have found that's off is the A2, which is crazy because that's the most important one to me. So I'm going to do a 4x4 card, so you can customize these however you want, and that means I need a 6 7/8 by 6 7/8 piece of paper, and I'm going to score it at 3.5. So I happen to have already cut a piece of paper that's 6 7/8 by 6 7/8, and then I need to score it at 3.5. So first thing I need to do is 3.5 up here. So that's the only time I use this ruler, but I need it for the first score. So I put it at 3.5 and then I score. And after you score, you punch. And then I'm going to line this up. This paper's a little bit harder to see. So sometimes if you want to do it on the opposite side, you can do it that way too, but then I'd have to go backwards, which is difficult for me because I'm not backward. Well, that might not be true, but you know what I mean. I can't do things left-handed. So just, you know, just roll with it. And then I turn it here and I find my score line again, which I think is right there. Yes. And then I'm going to score and punch. And depending on how thick your paper is how hard you want to put pressure on with your little scoring tool, because this isn't really super thick paper. If I were to push really hard, it would go right through. Let's see. Let me show you. Here's what I cut off of that one. So if I put this on the scoring pad and I pushed too hard, well, it didn't do it. Maybe I can't. But I would think that if I pushed too hard, it would like put a hole, there we go, or rip it. So yeah, just be real careful when you're doing it. That's why I go over it twice. I usually go once and then I go the other way because I don't put a ton of pressure on it. That way I have a nice score line that, you know, works. So after I've scored all 4 sides, I can, oops, you know what I forgot to do here? I forgot to punch, and I can tell because there's no notch. So I'm just lining this up with the score again. Punch. So not everything is a disaster if you forget, just that you can go back and do it. And now I'm just doing these, and you don't even have to do this part. If you like it pointy, leave it pointy. I've done both. Right now I kind of like it rounded, but last week I probably liked it pointy. I don't know, I changed my mind. So now I'm going to fold these in. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there's our envelope for this one. And let's see if my other tear and tape is in here. And so I put those two in, and then this one you can see I can go all the way to the top on this one because it'll be all covered up. So that's what I will do. I'll take my handy dandy tape, go to the top, tear it. Oh, maybe I'll pull this off first. See how much easier that is? Oh my word. And then there's a cute card. My card should fit right in. And it sure does. Yay! So I don't think I've finished my card. I don't think I've written anything in it yet. No, I have not. And I want to include some washi samples because it's fun. And I will send a little note. But I thought that would be a cute envelope to go with this card. And that's it. I just wanted to show you how to use that, and I hope that you enjoy it. And if you like to purchase it, you can go to my store below. It's TT.Scraps.stampinup.net, and it is a fabulous tool. I think that you will really enjoy it. Thanks. Bye-bye.